Hello everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. My name is Danny Burke and today we're going to continue our Urban Legends series, but we're going to do a little bit of a twist on it. We're actually going way back in time now to look at an ancient culture, the Vikings. Now, as I'm sure you guys might know, the Vikings are known as a fearsome, bloodthirsty warrior race. Some of that isn't necessarily true, but their stories certainly are. So right now we're going to get into the top 10 scary Viking legends. Also make sure you guys stick around for the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. Starting off at number 10 now, we have the Blood Eagle. I hope you guys haven't eaten recently because we are starting off with something pretty horrific. The Blood Eagle was an ancient Viking torture method, usually saved for their worst enemies. Some historians believe it was so brutal that it can't possibly have been real. Let's see if you agree. The Blood Eagle involved carving an eagle onto the back of a person and then prying his back open by detaching his ribs from his backbone and then, wait for it, pulling his lungs through the opening. The lungs would then be spread over the ribs on the outside so that they look like wings, hence the name Blood Eagle. To make things even worse, the open wounds and organs would then have salt rubbed onto them, causing excruciating pain if they hadn't already blacked out by then. The Blood Eagle was used as a torturous revenge device, but also as an offering to the Viking god Odin. Imagine how scared of this god the Vikings must have been for them to think a Blood Eagle would appease him. Moving on to number 9 now, we have the Nuka Larvae. When the Vikings inhabited Scotland's Orkney Island, they told stories of a hideous creature known as the Nuka Larvae. They are horse-like demons. Their bodies are like skinless horses, and on their back is the torso of a human rider. Nothing else, just a skinless torso hanging there. Two arms hang down by the side of the torso that are so long they can touch the ground. The horse's mouth is huge, gaping, and exudes a toxic vapor that kills any crops nearby. Its single giant red eye burns like a flame. It would spread disease and attack people on sight. The islanders of Orkney were so scared of the demon that they would not speak its name without immediately saying a prayer afterwards. Because it has no skin, people said you can actually see black blood coursing through its yellow veins, and the pale but powerful muscles can be seen pulsating all over. Next up at number 8 now, we have the human sacrifice. For the Vikings, the number 9 was very important. It appeared throughout their religion and their stories. It was deemed so important that the Vikings were said to carry out human sacrifices because of it. In 1072, the German monk Adam of Bremen visited a Viking temple in Sweden and found that they met every 9 years to ensure the goodwill of their gods. 9 males of all kinds of living creatures were sacrificed. Dogs, horses, and humans were hung from trees in the temple's sacred groves. This would go on for 9 days. Every day, 9 new males were killed. This would result in 81 gruesome sacrifices. Moving on to number 7 now, we have murder creation. The Vikings believed that the universe came from an empty void between the worlds of ice and fire. In this void came Ymir, a genderless, neutral being who eventually spawned a number of creatures which would become the Viking gods and also their enemies. His grandchildren were Vili, Vi, and Odin. They decided to create the world and fill it with life, but all life comes with a price. They couldn't make the world out of nothing, and so they murdered Ymir and made the world out of his body. His blood became the sea, his bones and teeth became rocks and mountains, and his brains became the clouds. Many Vikings believed the cruelty of all life could be blamed on the fact that our world and everything in it was founded on the murder of a great being. Moving on to number 6 now, we have the Droga. This was the Vikings version of a zombie. Some of you may already recognize the name from other places. They are animated corpses. The Vikings said they possess superhuman strength, can increase their size at will, and always have a repulsive stench of death about them. They wake up in their graves and then swim through solid rock to escape. When free, they hunt for their victims and kill them in a number of different gruesome ways. Some devour their flesh, some will eat you whole, others will kill people by just driving them mad, some simply suck the victim dry of blood. Legend says a Droga is immune to weapons and can only be stopped by a hero wrestling it back to its grave. The only way to truly stop it after that is to cut off its head, burn its body, and then dump the ashes in the sea. Moving on to number 5 now, we have the Mare. Have you guys ever had sleep paralysis before? You wake up in the middle of the night, you can't move, and you have this strange feeling of some dark presence nearby. The Vikings would say that you have been visited by the Mare. This is actually where English gets the word nightmare from. The Mare is an evil female spirit who sits on top of you while you're asleep. While you're unable to move, she then drags the life out of you. Legend says the Mare can slit through the tiniest cracks in walls or or flaws like sand or smoke, only to re-emerge and terrorize the victim. If the person is unable to break free from the mare, they are slowly smothered to death. At number 4 now, we have the troll. The troll comes directly from Viking mythology. They are large, brutish, and often evil creatures who would never think twice about crushing a human on sight. Luckily, they were also renowned for their stupidity, and stories of Vikings defeating them often involve simply outsmarting their dim wits. They lived in isolated mountains, rocks, and caves, and sometimes lived together. Their favourite food is humans, which they considered a delicious snack. They also turned to stone upon contact with sunlight. Alright, earlier on in the video we talked about the Vikings' belief and how the world started, and I'm afraid to say the end of the world doesn't look any prettier. At the number 3 spot now we have Ragnarok. At the end of the world there will be events that lead to a great battle between the Viking gods and cosmic beings, including a great serpent that holds the world together. Floods, fire, pain and anguish await us all as the earth is brutally reborn again. Everyone will perish as monsters and giants battle, and the sun is swallowed up by darkness. Even the gods themselves will die. Humans stand no chance. The world will freeze, wither and die. The Vikings believed that this future is coming for all of us, and just because they themselves are gone, it doesn't mean it's not still coming for us. Next up at number 2 now, we have the Kraken. This is a legendary sea monster that struck fear into the hearts of any seafaring Vikings. They believe the Kraken lived off the shores of Norway and Greenland. Most of the time, they live at the sunken depths of the ocean, but occasionally they visited the surface to wreak havoc on Viking ships. The giant octopus-like creatures were said to be up to 500 feet wide with 900 foot long tentacles, and they can weigh up to 400 tons. They would attack ships by wrapping their tentacles around the ship's hull and then capsizing it. The crew would be killed by drowning or by being eaten by the actual monster. We talked about Ragnarok, the end of the world, before. Well, the Vikings believe that when Ragnarok comes, all of the Krakens will rise from the depths of the ocean and there will be nowhere to hide from them anymore. And finally, number 1 now, we have the Pester. You guys have heard of the Black Death or the Grim Reaper. Well, this was basically the Viking equivalent. She appears to you as an old woman when it is your time to die. She is not evil or malicious, which perhaps only adds to the fear that she struck into Viking hearts. Pester simply delivers the news of death and then shepherds your soul away. You cannot run. Some describe her as the disease that was impossible to keep out. She would appear anywhere, but especially on roads as people traveled along them. If you see Pester, make sure you check what she is carrying in her hand. If she is carrying a rake, that means that not everyone in your family will die. Your souls will be able to escape through the teeth of the rake. If she is carrying a broom, well, everyone is doomed to be swept away. On one occasion, a man begged her to spare his life. She said no, but she will give him an easy death. That night he went home exhausted and fell asleep, never to wake up again. This is what scares people the most. There is no fight. There is no battle against evil that you can win. Pester simply delivers your inevitable death. Alright guys, that's all we've got for you today on Viking Legends. What did you think of those? What ancient culture should we dive into next? While you think of that, I'm going to take a quick look at your comments from our Robots That Kill People video. The first one comes from Cody Whitlock, who said, "Great, another thing to worry about. Could the next video be like the cutest puppies or something? JK, I love the video." I think Rebecca actually did a video about the cutest dogs ages ago. It was something that you guys always jokingly request after a scary video, so we thought, hey, why don't we just do it? It didn't get many views. So I basically think you guys like the idea of happy cute videos, but what you really want is more scary and weird ones. Come on, be honest. Saksoon simply says, "Robots are taking our jobs." I've had a lot of people worry about this in the past few years. Some jobs are going to be safe for a long time from AI, but others are already being replaced by robots. I started thinking about my job as a video host and I was like, nah, there's no way a robot can do my job, but really it probably could one day. All I need to do is to make it look like me and then show it all of my videos so it knows how to behave like me, and then I would be out of a job. It wouldn't get tired, it wouldn't have grumpy mornings, it wouldn't mess up pronunciations in these videos, so yeah, I feel you. A robot is one day gonna take my job. JP said we should stop making robots smarter. Again, I feel you, but I don't think that's the answer, JP. I think smarter AI could have immense benefits. It could make life a lot easier for humans. It could even help us cure diseases or invent new technologies or just solve problems that humans aren't smart enough to figure out yet. I don't think think the answer is to stop making them smarter. I think it's better to just make sure that we have precautions in place so that they are as safe as possible. The Game Weeb shared an interesting quote that reads, "It's not the future that you are afraid of, it's the fear of the past repeating itself that haunts you." Whoa. I like that quote a lot. I guess for humans we do have a history of the powerful screwing over the weak. Power has always corrupted humans for centuries, so maybe we are now projecting that onto robots. We're paranoid they're going to do the same to us. If that's the case, that's not really fair. AI could be very different to us. It depends on how human we want to make them. Perhaps we should try our best to not program any power corruption into them. That might work. What do I know though? Alright guys, I really appreciate the comments, so keep them coming. My name is Danny Burke and I will see you all in the next video.